back then you played hockey day and night, and we started off, when I started, there was just the playground hockey, which was up to 12 years of age in the city, and there was only so many areas that, you had Old X and Sherburne, Notre Dame, West End, and, that in our area, and then, of course, it was the other side of town, and West Kildonan. It was all, playground hockey up to 12, and most of the rinks never had any boards. There was only one rink that had boards, and that was Notre Dame. And it wasn't a very big rink, but they had boards anyhow. And half the time the puck went over the, actually we had boards. We had a board that was about 6 inches high, but by the time that the winter was over, there was no board left because it was filled up. It was all ice. And then he went from there to the community clubs. It started at 13 with Bantam B or Bantam C, Bantam A and B and C and whatever, and up to midget. And so, and you grew up playing with guys in your own area, basically. And we did have out in our area, because we didn't, after a while there wasn't enough kids. So we did have to import a few kids from different parts of town that nobody else wanted. We picked them up and used them if they were good enough. So, but it was enjoyable. As I say, you played with kids you grew up with, and I still see a few of them today, and they're good friends, very good friends of mine. Nice to be able to say, well, I played hockey with that guy 70 years ago, or close to it, 65 years ago, and it's like you say, oh God, it's a long time. Well, we had, our junior team with the St. Boniface Canadians, we had a 60-year reunion from our 52-53 team last June, and it was, there was, I think, 6 guys that played were able to show up because of health-wise, or else their wife wasn't able to travel, and it's always great to see the guys, and especially. They always tell you now, you grow up and you play with a team that wins, you'll be friends forever. Never forget that, and it's very, very true. As guys that I played there, and guys that I played with in St. Catharines, we had a very good hockey club. I was very, very fortunate that I was able to play in good hockey clubs throughout my career pretty well, and we had. 50-year reunion with the with the Chicago Blackhawks in 2010, 2011 from our 61 Cup team. And I go down to Chicago quite often and visit and see some few games and visit with some of my old friends. And it was funny. I got a nice card from our old goalkeeper from there, and I also played with him in St. Louis at Glen Hall. And a nice card he had, and unfortunately, he is he's a widower, I guess, or now, and he sent me a nice card, and because he didn't get to Chicago last summer, and we'd seen him. He was there for our 50th reunion, and he's always, I don't know if you would ever remember when Glen Hall was back in the 50s and 60s, he was always painting the barn, because he didn't want to go to training camp, or they weren't going to give him enough money, so he said, I'll just stay home. He said, I'm busy. He said, I'm painting my barn. Well, he sent me a nice card that was like 5 by 8 or something like that, with a nice card, and he's got a brush and a pail, and he's beside this barn that is about 6'6" high and about 6 feet wide, and he's painting the thing. He's got written on there, well, I'm good for one more year now. It was hilarious. Just got that 2 days ago.